I'm standing by the podium. And you can hear me, and as I said, the rest of the program will be more musical, and this is a special Grow meeting that we're having in order to celebrate the four tempos, their music, which is a German, a big German tradition. Germans love music, and all kinds of music. Folk music, dancing music, waltzes, opera, and you name it, even some military marches. Somebody's phone is going off. Anyway, so the four tempos, and Leo is going to tell you about it, so I don't have to go rambling on here. He's going to talk about the history, and then we're going to play some tape, four tempos, original, their music, and then some YouTube samples of what they played too. Leo tells me they had over 120 songs that they played at these dances, and some dances had more than 200 people at them. Okay, so I'll stop and we'll let Leo, if you hit that next slide.
I know you want to hear the rest of the story.
And then he'll tell you the rest of the story. I have, before Leo comes up here, I have our grandson here, Ty, is on the computer, and his father, Troy Lackey, and Christy, who were here yesterday, trying to make sure that you get this, the music is playing for you properly. And so Ty is helping you today. So you learned from yesterday what to do. Okay, Leo, you want to come up here and give us a brief history about the four temples? And you have to do this with two hands. One is this is Derek. He set it up, and thank you. And I'm not making fun. Thanks for the help there. Derek in German, Derek in English. My brother's
Derek,
yeah.
this is complicated stuff.
Rest it by your side. In your left hand, you can.
By your side.
Yeah.
Thank you for the direction. However, I play accordion only in two keys, C and F. I don't read music. But anyway, what I wanted to say, I'm one of the tempos, one of the music makers of the past.
The other one is on the 82nd.
Yeah. And like Paul Harvey would say, I have now the rest of the story. In 1962, I was just discharged from the military. I came back to Portland and rejoined my soccer team, Sports Club Germania. And Alfred Schiller at that time was manager and president of Sports Club Germania. And he suggested that we have a party at the German house downtown, and that we, that is Willie Heckel, Alex Heckel, and myself, should provide the music. But he knew that I played the accordion, and he knew Alex played guitar, and Willie Heckel was the drummer. So we agreed to that. We went up there, and we played for about 2 hours, and there were about 40 or so young people dancing to our music. And we had them moving for 2 hours, so I thought that was pretty good. And Alfred Schiller, suddenly before the evening was over, told us right there that he reserved the Pythian Building Dance Hall for 6 dances in 1963. This was December 62. 6 dances? I thought, wow, that's big stuff. I heard of the Pythian Building, and I was there dancing in that dance hall. Now suddenly we were supposed to make music there. The evening was over, and 1963 came real fast. The first Saturday in 1963, we were supposed to play the winter dance, and the last Saturday was supposed to be masquerade or Mardi Gras dance, but it was masquerade. The very first Saturday came up, we were supposed to play from 8 to 12. I went there an hour earlier. The dance hall is it's a big dance hall with balcony all the way around, or at least 2 sides. I was there at 7 o'clock, dragged my instruments in. It is a giant stage. I walked through the dance floor, set up my amplifier and accordion, I hit a few chords and I thought, boy, this is like a giant echo chamber. And I was ready. Now I was waiting for the other guys. And then Alex came. Alex set up his amplifier and he tuned his guitar to my accordion, of course. We were ready. And Willie was not there yet. And finally Willie showed up. He set up his drum set and he let his sticks dance on the drum for a few runs. He said, yeah, I'm ready. And I said, I'm ready too. Because people started coming in. It was 7:30 now. At 8 o'clock we were supposed to start. At 7:30 people started coming in, sitting down on tables. And there was also one promise Schiller made us. He was going to send us this mystery saxophone player that he talked to us about and would help us out. So suddenly I see this one person way down at the entrance coming in with a box underneath his armpit. And I thought, that must be that saxophone player. He comes straight across the floor, sticks out his arm and says, my name is Gerhard Immelsberger, and I'm here to help you guys. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, I play everything in C or F. Well, he says, I can do that. So he takes this mouthpiece apart, starts scraping on his reed, and I don't know what he was doing there, scraping that wooden reed, stuck it back together, and then he tuned his saxophone to my accordion too. And I said, yeah, we can do this. And he asked me in German, womit fängst du an? What are you going to start with? I said, how about Happy Days Are Here Again? In German is Wochenend und Sonnenschein is the same song, only different lyrics. And we started playing Happy Days Are Here Again as the first song. And we riffed song after song. We played lots of music and fast. Had a short break. We played through all the way at 12 o'clock. And then I thought I will do like Lawrence Welk. I'll play Goodnight Ladies as the last song. I played Goodnight Ladies, they were still on the floor, they wouldn't leave the floor. So I thought, aha. I thought I'll finish it up with Auf Wiedersehen. I played that Auf Wiedersehen, and they were still on the dance floor. And all at once I noticed guys were pulling out billfolds and putting money in a hat. Since I never played for money before, I saw them put money in a hat, and Alfred Schiller came running up to the stage, said, hey, you have to play longer. Look at all this money, a hat full of money. So I announced that we would play an hour longer. We played till 1 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, I did the same thing again. Good night, ladies. They were still on the floor. I did Auf Wiedersehen again. They were still on the floor. So I thought, okay, Lili Marleen. I finished it up with Lili Marleen. They were swaying and dancing, and finally they stopped. Our first evening for a hat full of money. We were sweating, we were soaked in sweat, but so were the dancers. We made them dance. It was a wonderful first time that we ever played for about 150 people or so. The next dance was the masquerade, and we had about 200 people there at the busy building. And that was easier because we started playing more Fasching-Musik. Sing, Brüderlein, sing. Ich fahre zum Schienenturm nach Pisa. And you know, stuff that the Germans knew about Fasching or Carnival. But we did that one very well. We had about 200 people in the second dance. So we were so busy playing job after job. In 1963, the sad thing is, like many other music groups, by the end of the year, we were bickering among ourselves which direction we should have with our music. Should we play nightclubs? Should we play bars? And I was opposed to that kind of thinking. I wanted our band to be just a dance band. My thinking was always making people dance. That was my drive. We actually fell apart by the end of 1963. Willie left and Alex left and formed a new band called the Black Panthers. And they also created a new soccer team called Steinhaus. And now I was still hanging with the Tempos. I had to beg my older brother, I said, I gotta have you help us out with your drums. And he did. And I was bugging at his twin brother, Harry, you better be ready with your voice and rhythm guitar. You have to join us. And he did. And Harry has this natural rhythm, and he gave us more of what you call it, American spice into our band. I didn't want to be pegged as an ethnic band. I wanted to be a band that played a variety of music, and tempo suited me fine. We played everything in a different tempo. We played sambas, we played cha-chas, we played polkas, maybe a waltz, and a foxtrot, or slow trot. So we did that after we split. But one thing I wanted to say too, Alex and Willie, even though they left us, we stayed friends for the rest of our lives. Because music, people many times have disagreements, and bickering happens in many families too. But anyway, my brother Harry, once he was in the tempos, he gave us a certain thing that we really needed, that Americanized, or actually it's rock and roll. And I wanted to tell you one more thing about we played for every ethnic group here in Portland. From the Croatians to the Latvians, the Italians hired us, and Poles hired, we played in the Polish Hall, I don't know how many times we played music there. So everybody hired us, and we played in every dance hall here in Portland, including the Waverly Country Club. I mean, that's a big deal. For the Bachelors of Portland, we played there too. And finally, we topped it off by being invited to play in Mount Angel in 1965. And there we were told right away, play that umpapa stuff. And I thought it was boring, boring, boring. But we played Schokolwalzer and the polka here and there. We played that in 1965, and they loved us with our music, playing that umpapa stuff. And the following year, we were hired right away. In 1966, we were there again. Started off with umpapa stuff. And Harry was just bored stiff, I could tell. He says, why don't we play a rock and roll piece? And he suggested, I thought first he was going to suggest My Baby Does the Hanky Panky. He says, oh, why don't we play Stagger Lee? I said, okay, let's go. And you can imagine, I jammed with him with my accordion. We played so hard, the dancers were dancing so hard inside that beer barn, that the dust was flying, because they only had hay bales in those days, and danced on that cement floor. The dust was flying everywhere, but they had a good time. Those dancers had a good time. But outside, there were people wanting to come in. They were banging on the barn, and the whole thing ended when the manager ran up on stage and he says, you stop playing that riot-creating music right now. And I did. I went back to Münchenstedt and Hochbrauhaus. And that was the last time we ever played in Mount Angel again. But in any case, dancing is such a wonderful human activity. It's a joyful activity. When you think about it, when two people dance and they become like one on a dance floor, it is a wonderful thing to see. And we saw it many times. And if our music made you dance, if our music made you dance in the past, think about it. Did you have fun? We certainly did. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, zeer veel dank, Leo. He was the leader of the four tempos, and he described it really well. And zeer veel dank for it. Yeah. And he gets emotional.
That was the rest of the story.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, and he gets emotional about that, and our family is emotional. Maybe that's why we love music so much. You know? You have to have a feeling for the music, and that also helps you on the dance floor.
You know, I'm embarrassed. I mean, one more thing.
One more thing. That sounds like my mind.
No. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that after our brother Eric was playing the drum, his oldest son was next in line to replace his father. And then it was his younger brother that replaced Harold with the Temples. And that way we stayed together about 30 years or so.
Yeah.
60s, 70s, and 80s.
So,
I left that one out, sorry.
yeah. Yeah, so Erich, and I'll use the German Erich, and here in the US you say Erich. And his grandson is taping me, and his name is Derek with a D, and the German way you would say Derich, with the, or Derek in English. And then their father or their opa, Erich Hartfeil, helped initially, and then Harold, our nephew, or Eric's son, the oldest son, he played the drums, took that over from his father. And then Derich's father is Ronald Hartfeil, and then he was the last one.
Yeah.
And actually, I heard that Derek actually even played it. He said once.
He told me himself.
So you can see music is in our family genes from very beginning. Birthdays, you should have seen us celebrating birthdays. It was music and dancing, and that's where we learned to dance from our sisters. We had 2 of them, and they were good dancers and musicians. I'm the only one that didn't play an instrument, but I was fairly good on the dance floor, and that's one other reason why we're having this musical program today. Okay, following, Harry, if you want to say something, here is your chance. That's the next thing. This is my twin brother, Harry.
He's a troublemaker.
Yeah, he's, but what a musician, so he made up for it.
I can hold this, or what's that for?
That's the connection to the movie camera, the Derek. You're on live. Right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're stars.
Star. Again.
We finally achieved it. Stardom.
Yeah. Star was finally.
Wow.
See how I'm dressed today?
Wow.
See this
You're
suit?
looking good, Harry.
Yeah, sure.
The reason I'm mentioning this is when the first of the Tempos passed away,
Yeah.
I wore this suit. What's that? Am I doing something wrong?
No.
I used to get signals like that when we played in the band. And especially when I played and sang and talked, I got signals like that all the time. That was from the old Germans. When we first started. Initially, their kids, who were my age, they finally caught on and we all had a great time. But I just wanted to say some things that Leo said, my version of what happened and how the Tempos came together. Leo and Adi hold everything inside. Thus you can imagine how this is going to be. I'm going to try to keep my composure as best as I can, but I got to bring out my feelings and speak the truth. But nowadays they say you got to speak the truth. Okay. The truth as I know it. When I wore the suit, and we lost the first of the Temples, or one of the first brothers. We are the 4 Tempos, that is Adi. It was just Leo and me. Adi was just as much for the 4 Tempos than all the other guys that joined the 4 Tempos. We were a family, period. A band. We joined clubs. We always were together, and everybody that joined us and played with us, danced for us, and everything else, they became family. We were that close. And so, getting back to when I wore the suit, things keep happening. The last time I wore the suit was just 6 months ago, 8 months ago, when my twin brother went through tremendous things. And I was there. And so now, again, I wore the suit. I only wear the suit for weddings, funerals, and special occasions, like the christening of my great-granddaughter. And so Adi, my twin brother, went through tremendous things this last 14 months. And so, when he called me on November 6th, coming up this year, I can tell you, brothers and sisters that you have, you're very close. But twins, I can only explain as a twin. I have twin grandsons, and I'm just telling you that I know my twin brother. He has gone through tremendous things, but I also know that he's going to do the best he can for you. And for him, after all these things that happened, I knew he was under tremendous stress, tremendous mourning, tremendous pressure, and sure enough, he went down too. But by a miracle, in the grace of God, he's back. He survived, and he's here. So now I'm here to talk about my twin brother. I'm here to talk about Leo. He did the same thing that Adi did. He also went down, but he came back. And so I was thinking, Leo said, you know, if after he came back, and Leo has been a fighter all of his life, of all my brothers, including myself, I mean, that's just the way Leo is. So, I just need to get these things out, and I won't take too long. So, and try to keep this thing going. Okay, so Leo did the same thing. And he said, you know something? If I make it to my 80th birthday, I think he had a stroke, went down, he was 78, a couple years later, and he had a major stroke, just like Adi did. And he was hurt bad after the stroke. It took him a while, but I know my brother Leo, if there's any chance, whether he played soccer, whatever he did in life, he was disciplined and he fought. And so, sure enough, Leo came back and said, on my 80th birthday, if I make it to 80, I'm going to have a great big birthday party. And I'm going to invite everybody. And you know, everybody came. All these people that you see here, they came. The guys that he played soccer with, this is our family that is here. None of you are strangers. All of you have been involved. We all grew up together. We raised our kids together. We're all family. So then, my twin brother, going back to him. Here we are, 6 months later. He recovered faster than Leo by the grace of God. And I asked him, I said, Adi, after he said, I got things to do. I says, I know, but I said, I promise you. He says, well, this club, he says, I'm going to go back to the club. I'm going to do things. And I says, yeah, okay, what are you going to do? And he says, well, I'm going to go back to the club, and I'm going to, and then he said, I'm gonna plan things in memory of my family, of my wife, my children, and my grandchildren. And he said, I'm gonna do all these things. And I says, okay, I'm there with you. I said, the day you go back to the club, this club, and you meeting, I want to be there. And I was here with him. Not because I just wanted to be there. Because when we were twins, when things were scary, we were always together. We knew how to deal with it. We know how to comfort each other. We know how to protect each other. So I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to be there. Fine. He said, okay, what was the next deal? He said, I'm going to have my kids, my family, my friends, and we're going to go down where we used to go camping and everything. And I says, well, I don't know if I'm going to be there or not, because, you know, that's the people that you hung out with, your family, you know, your wife and your children and their friends. I said, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be there. And he said, well, he's also involved in the 60th reunion coming up with Oregon City High School, because my twin brother was an honor student, got straight A's and all this other stuff, got his college degree and all this stuff. I was a high school dropout because I wasn't an identical twin. And plus I was the youngest, so I was always the victim.
But there you played rock and roll.
I did play rock and roll. So then, Adi said, okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Oregon City High School deal, and he's on a committee and all that stuff. And I said, Adi, when you go to that, I'm going to be there. I'm going with you there. Just like we went to Oregon City High School together the first time to school, you know, we were scared to not speak English, but we were there. I didn't want to be with him because I was worried that he didn't know how to deal with it. I know he hadn't told anybody that he had a stroke and everything like that. I know some of them knew that he had lost his wife and son in a very short time. I just wanted to be there to see my brother do his thing. So I was there. And then he said, you know something? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plan a thing, which is happening today. And I said, well, I'm going to be there. I said, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be there or not, because my son has planned a hunting trip and I think he's going to hit at the same time. So I was sort of torn. And I found out that, no, I'm leaving 2 days from now. So that's cool. So I told Adi I would be here. So now that I'm here, I know that it reminds me exactly what Leo did on his birthday, on the 80th. He invited all of you, and you were there, all of you. Some of you that weren't there, that's okay, your family anyway, you know, miss out on a good party that Leo had. Adi did the same thing. He invited all of you because we're all family. So I'm here today just to say that I love all of you. I hope I didn't embarrass you, because sometimes I did some things good and sometimes I did something crazy. But I was just me, having a great time. And the memories, I can't explain to you how much all of you meant to me. When I see Penny there, Alex was my best buddy. I met him when I was 16 years old, when Leo took me out to Westmoreland Park, and there was Alex and Willie playing for some Hungarian team. But I heard him speak in German, and there was this blonde-headed kid and this other blonde guy. One guy was short, Alex was a little bit taller than him. Great soccer player.
Curly hair.
Curly hair. And I didn't know that in the future that Alex would be that much in my life, because not only did he join the band, Alex and me went double dating with some American high school girls. He almost got in trouble for that because he was older. And so, but there's so many people. Lothar, Pesa, I mean, Bruno, I mean, I have memories. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with we were all family. We were all young. And so, I just wanted to finish it up by saying that I'm just glad that Leo and Adi got to be able to do their thing, and I'm glad that I'm here to do my thing, because tomorrow's not guaranteed for any of us, but boy, are we going to have fun, do the think back and have some memories and play some music when we were young and had so much fun. And the love, when I played, I'm telling you, it wasn't just a matter of rock and roll. I wanted to be out there dancing all the time. I wanted to do the waltz. I saw Oscar Radke, Kurt Radke's father, you know, come up here and grab my wife to polka and grab her, and just these old people that are long gone enjoyed the music, and we were all family and friends. So if I leave any of you out, I can't mention all of you because you were all there. Is Oscar here? No. Oscar?
I'm here. Yeah. Well, Joe made it.
Joe? Yeah. Lotus?
No,
Yeah.
that's it. No, it's not. No, it didn't go.
Okay, so because you were the president of the club, and I will obey all the other things to do for tonight. I enjoyed being here for you.
Two thumbs up.
I love you. I'm proud of all of you. And I'm telling you, weren't we something? Didn't we have fun? See you guys.
Thank you very much. As Harry said, we were all different, and a couple of us were more shy. I used to be when I was a young kid. But Harry was always the one that showed his feelings, and I appreciate having him for a twin brother and showing the feelings too, because that's important too. And we felt them when they played the music, and I felt it when I was out on the dance floor dancing to that wonderful music with my wife. Okay, these were supposed to be short little histories. Are there any, before we play music, we'll get to it. Are there any comments from the floor? Does anybody want to say something? My two brothers covered it quite a bit, but so there's a chance if you want to come up here, hold the microphone. And did you want to say something, Bruno? Yeah, I'll hold half the microphone for you. Short, yeah. But we do want to hear some of their music. Okay, Bruno. This is Bruno Royalist. Also related directly to the family, even though Harry says everybody is our family. Okay, you want to hold it?
Well, I just got a few words about the Four Timbers. You know, that band brought us so much closer together. It's amazing. When they first started out, of course, the crowds and the dances were not that big, but they were getting bigger and bigger. And it was not, of course, Saka Club was always involved in it. But we got so much closer because of that band. That band was love. it was getting to the point that on some of our dances, I happened to be both of the president of the club, and I had problems sometimes because I had to almost lock the doors. We were getting too many people in it. I was the Pigeon Building. I don't know who remembers the Pigeon Building. And when the people were dancing, the floor was moving. And I was concerned something might happen. So we had actually kick some people or just about lock the door. So that band was terrific. And then the wonderful thing what they did, like they mentioned already, sure they were playing some of the old music, old German music. But then when that young man over there got in, they started playing a little more modern music.
American
And that kind of helped again too. It even brought a few other people in. They were not that crazy about the German music anymore, but some of the more modern music. So all I can say, that band did a lot in my life. They helped me in a lot of things. They did a wonderful thing, and I'm so happy they did it, and I'm happy at least a few of them are still around. Thank you.
Sehr gut gesagt. Bruno said it pretty well, said it very well. Those were the good old days. I mean, it was just 30 years ago, maybe 40 years ago. Yep, and we had a great time. Okay, now you'll hear some of the music that they played, and so some of it initially is real tape music of them playing. That that one of the dancers they liked their music so well. He took a tape and taped it. And this is a re-recorded live recordings. And then after that, there's just some YouTube selections of the music that they played, especially some of my twin brothers' rock and roll stuff. I found a few that they weren't recorded. So here's some samples of what and there's some samples that are very much like what he sounded. Okay, so we'll. Here we go, the first one, and these are all four-tempo recorded music. So Ty, the grandson, and his father Troy are going to play these. You know, because we talk quite a bit so much, we should probably limit these to about 1.5 minutes, 1 to 1.5 minutes, Troy. Can you do that?
Just
Okay,
play
we're going to try.
Just play them.
You want to play them all?
Yeah, just go for it.
Just 1.5. Here they are. In the move. Oh, incidentally, and you're welcome to come and dance here and show off your moves. Anybody, you know?